All right, today we are digging into a blueprint for wealth that has almost nothing to do with just working harder or pinching pennies. No, this is all about a fundamental shift in your thinking, a shift that could literally be the difference between financial struggle and true financial freedom.
So let's just get right to it with one single crucial question. Think about it for a second. Do you work for money, or does your money work for you? Seriously, your answer to that really gets to the heart of what separates, just getting by from real financial freedom. And that's pretty much the core of this entire explainer.
So our first section here is called Soch Ka Fark, which basically translates to the difference in thinking. And this is so important because according to the source material we're looking at, the journey to wealth, it doesn't start with a new job or some hot new investment. Nope, it starts right here, between your years. It starts with a change in your mindset.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? The two mindsets. On one side, you've got this passive approach. You're just waiting, kind of hoping for a raise, for a bonus to come through. But on the other side, that's the active approach, creating. It's literally the difference between asking for a bigger slice of the pie and deciding to just go out and bake a bunch of entirely new pies for yourself.
So what happens when you stick with that first, more passive mindset? Well, that's exactly what this next section is all about. The very, very real risk of relying on just a single source of income.
The source material is incredibly direct about this. It's not a suggestion, it's a flat-out warning. It says, if you are dependent on only one income, you are at risk. It's as simple and as scary as that. If every single dollar you have comes from one place, one job, you are financially vulnerable. You're at risk.
And look at this, it just illustrates the point so well. Just one, a single income source. Think about it. All your plans, your bills, your dreams for the future, they're all balancing on this one single point. And in today's economy, how secure can that really be? What happens if that one source just, poof, suddenly vanishes? This is just the perfect metaphor, isn't it? Try to stand on one leg. You can do it, and you might be fine for a little while, but you are always unstable. Any little unexpected push, a job loss, a recession, anything, it can knock you completely off balance. Real stability, true stability, requires multiple points of support.
Okay, so if relying on a single paycheck is like trying to balance on one leg, what's the alternative? Well, this next section introduces probably the most powerful concept in our whole explainer today, System se piensa kamana, or simply, earning with systems. And this quote is really the crucial point right here. This is the fundamental pivot. The goal shifts from trading your time directly for money to building something that generates money for you. You stop being the engine that has to show up and run every single day, and instead you become the engineer who builds the engine that runs on its own.
So what in the world is a system? Well, to put it simply, it's an asset. It's something that makes money for you even when you aren't actively working, right? So this could be anything. It could be a rental property that brings in rent every month. It could be a business you own where employees are doing the day-to-day work. It could even be a piece of intellectual property, like a book you wrote or a song that sells copies while you're asleep, or an online course that's helping people all over the world. The key, the absolute key, is that it separates your earnings from the hours you physically put in.
Okay. So we get the mindset shift, we see the risks of having just one income, and we know the big goal is to build these systems. But how? How do you actually start? A system doesn't just pop up out of thin air, right? And that's exactly what this final section is all about. Apka agla kadam, or your next step.
And what's great is that the source lays out this beautifully simple, totally actionable plan. It's just a 3-step process. So, step 1, learn something new, something valuable. Step 2, use that new skill to build a second stream of income. That's your second leg to stand on. And then step 3, evolve that side income into a true system, something that can eventually operate pretty much on its own.
And we end on this final, really powerful statement. The stakes here are incredibly high. According to the source, the alternative to building these systems, it isn't just having less wealth. It's a life spent perpetually trading your time for money with no exit ramp in sight. This is about working for your freedom, not just for a paycheck. And that leaves us with this final, really critical question. Because this isn't just some theory, right? The blueprint is right there on the screen. The choice is moving from passively hoping for more to actively building more. So after seeing all this, what's the first step you're going to take? What will your first new income source be?